Freestyle skier Eileen says she suffered post-Olympic depression. You can win the Olympics and still just enter the deepest rut of your life. Even the world's record-breaking athletes are not immune to the lows of grappling with burnout and mental health challenges. Freestyle skier and Olympic champion Eileen said following the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing, where she won 2 gold medals and 1 silver for China at age 18, she was hit with a wave of burnout and anxiety, a feeling shared by many other elite athletes. There's this thing called post-Olympic depression, and it's very common among athletes, a pretty well-known phenomenon. But the interesting thing is, it's not at all correlated to results. Jiu said in a June 2025 episode of the Burnouts podcast hosted by Phoebe Gates and Sophia Kiani. That's what's kind of surprising to people, is you can win the Olympics and still just enter the deepest rut of your life and just really be questioning everything, your purpose. You feel so burnt out, but at the same time just have all this anxiety and pent-up energy, not sure where to direct it, she continued. And I was no exception. At 22 years old, Gu's accomplishments have already mounted. Aside from being the youngest Olympic champion in freestyle skiing, Jiu also attends Stanford University, having scored a 1580 on her SAT. Her modeling has led her to become a founding member of Victoria's Secret's VS Collective, helping to reshape the brand's image, and she was recently featured on the cover of Time magazine. The Chinese-American athlete earns $23 million per year, but only a fraction of it comes from her illustrious skiing career. She has had endorsement deals with Porsche, Red Bull, and IWC Schaffhausen, as well as Chinese brands like Enter Sports and Lupkin Coffee. Born in San Francisco and raised by her mother, a first-generation Chinese immigrant, Jiu competes under the Chinese flag. At the Winter Olympics in Milan, she is set to compete in the women's slopestyle, big air, and halfpipe. The game began on Wednesday, with the gold medal event starting on February 7th. Jiu said she reached her lowest point 6 months after the 2022 Olympics, when, despite her success, she became overwhelmed by how she was supposed to take her next steps. You're working your entire life towards this one massive goal, she said. You're 18, you feel like you're on top of the world, and then you hit this hole. How athletes navigate post-Olympic depression. It's not just Jiu who has experienced the come-down from victory at the Global Games. A 2023 study of 49 Danish Olympic athletes found more than a quarter of competitors reported below-average well-being or moderate to severe depression, with 16% of participants reporting both. Female athletes had higher depression scores than their male counterparts. Among the athletes who have grappled with the post-Olympic blues is American swimmer Michael Phelps, who has 28 total Olympics medals, including a record 23 gold medals from 5 Olympic Games. He told NBC News Meet the Press in 2024 he struggled with the post-game blues as early as his second Olympics in 2004, when he won 6 gold medals and 2 bronze medals. 2004 was my first taste of post-Olympic depression. Coming off such a high, he told NBC. It's basically, you get to the edge of a cliff. Cool, now what? Oh, I guess I've got to wait 4 more years to have the chance to do it again. Karen Howells, a sports psychologist, said these athletes may be experiencing the blues after a very specific experience and the years of training leading up to it, but many can relate to the period of reorientation following a big event, even a successful one. It's normal that when we build up to something and then it's over, we are going to feel lost and upset, Howells told The Athletic. There may be anger, frustration, irritation. Jiu said she navigated burnout by seeking counsel in her support system of her mother and friends, who offer advice, despite Jiu treading unfamiliar and unprecedented territory in her record-breaking career. Seeking mentorship in a holistic sense is sometimes challenging, because a lot of the things I do are the first time someone's doing it in the way that I'm doing it, Jiu said. But there are people who've gone through really incredible experiences, and everyone's unique. Jiyu recently took time off following injuries, something her mother has encouraged her to do. My mom. I think people think that she's like crazy tiger mom, but she's actually the opposite. She's like reverse tiger momming me and being like, when are you going to drop out? When are you going to take time off? Jiyu said. Eileen Jiyu, Beyond the Podium, a journey through triumph, turmoil, and truth. There is a striking paradox at the heart of human achievement. Moments of greatest triumph can sometimes cast the longest shadows. For many, success is the ultimate pinnacle, the culmination of effort, sacrifice, and hope. And yet, for some of the most driven and accomplished among us, victory can usher in unexpected inner struggles. This phenomenon, post-Olympic depression, is one such paradox, and no one has articulated its emotional weight more poignantly than freestyle skiing sensation Eileen Jiyu. Eileen Gu's rise to sporting stardom is one of the most compelling athletic arcs of the 21st century. Born in San Francisco in 2003, she launched herself into the world of freestyle ski with an intensity and skill that quickly made her a global force. Representing China, her mother's homeland, Jiyu made history at the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, becoming the youngest Olympic champion in her sport's history when, at just 18, she won 2 gold medals and a silver. Her simultaneous mastery of big air, slopestyle, and halfpipe captivated the world and heralded her as one of the era's brightest young athletes. Her achievements continued to mount. At the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, she replicated her dominance by securing 1 more gold and 2 silvers, extending her legacy as the most decorated freestyle skier in Olympic history. But beneath the shimmer of medals and media attention lies a more complex interior life, one that challenges how we understand the cost of success, the pressure of performance, and the invisible emotional toll carried by elite athletes. The hidden side of triumph. In a revealing conversation on the Burnouts podcast in June 2025, Jiyu spoke openly about what followed her stunning victory at Beijing 2022, a period of profound emotional struggle that she now identifies as post-Olympic depression. Despite having reached the zenith of her sport, winning multiple Olympic medals at an age when most are just beginning to chase their dreams, Jiyu admitted that she plunged into what she described as the deepest rut of her life. Her words cut against the glossy narratives that often accompany Olympic success. There's this thing called post-Olympic depression, and it's like very common among athletes, a pretty well-known phenomenon. Jiyu explained. What may surprise fans is her observation that results, even the highest results, do not guard against this emotional downturn. You can win the Olympics and still just enter the deepest rut of your life and just really be questioning everything, your purpose. Here is the deep human truth in her admission. Achievement and emotional fulfillment are not always the same thing. For someone,